My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is October 22nd, 2024. It is 2:33 a.m. This is video number 2. Video number 1 was for this channel. I focus on some tweets that I was seeing of Charles in Australia. I did say I was not going to talk about it, but I scratched through Twitter and grabbed some stuff to share with you because there weren't really much going on. In this video, I will be focusing on, I just added one more. I should have 8. Now, I added one more, which I just saw, and it's that we're going to focus on some politics here and there. And I'll try to go over it really quickly, nothing too deep and things like that. So before I go on Twitter, let's look at the background. Feel free to skip. 4,450 subscribers. New subscribers welcome. Estimate revenue $105.60. Hee hee. In my first video, I spoke about it, and it's really not that much. And the issues that I'm going with right now, I don't want to tap into my personal account. I just want to reinvest onto the channel. Pretty much this is where this money goes. It's really nothing. But I need to buy some memories. If you guys could donate to my PayPal or Cash App if you have extra. And there's some squaddies who've been donating, and I truly appreciate that. But the kind of memories that I'm looking for, it costs a lot. I need, like, you know, based on what my husband told me, it needs terabytes. Let me show you some of the things which I need to save. Let me show you. These are all the videos that I have for this year. So these take memories. These are all the videos that I create this year that on either PYTE, APTS Sussex, or part of Pure Service. So it's catching up. All right, a lot of memories. So if you could please donate to help me, you know, I need to buy more memories. All right, so that's that. Let's look at the background analytics. In the last 48 hours, 1,257 views, right? Yeah, views. So let's go on Twitter. So this is the first tweet, and that's the one I just added on my list. Okay, so this is some I don't even, yeah, I follow. This is Fostering Marshall, or I don't know. Sometime when people make sense and it happened to come under my timeline, I follow it. I must have followed him a while back because it came under my timeline. So this is what he wrote. I'm an atheist, but I have seen a good few Christians doing good work. I think the Trump Christians are the nasty type. And there's me here. You're not wrong there. What this bunch call God is not the same kind of God that I worship. Alright, so that's that. One person like it. Alright, so literally he just put it. Whoa, when was that? 2:31 a.m. Right now it's 2:37. He just wrote it and I respond 2 minutes ago. Alright, so let's go to the next one. This is a TikTok video. Let's see here. Alright, so let's pause this. This is one of the squad who shared that, and it seems like it sort of make reference. I was reading some of the comments when I first came across it. It sort of made reference to the Sussexes, not them, not the people who's talking in the video, but the comments that I was reading. Okay, right? Was it W parents? A minute and 20 seconds. There will be screenshots. Okay.
Can you explain why you have not shown him? Yes, I can. In our opinion, the internet is not for babies. And I guess that pisses a lot of people off. People like Jenny here who left 35 hateful comments on one video about it. Jenny can't understand why we made pregnancy content for 9 months and had people follow us if we weren't going to show the baby's face. We never said, hey, follow us, and when our baby's born, you can look at him. You see, Jenny, Joe Chuck just isn't a kid, he's our son, and it's our job to protect him. We have a combined 5.4 million followers on all the social media platforms that we post on. And out of all those people watching our content, there's going to be at least one sicko. Just waiting to see his face so they can do something sick and disturbing with it. And that is just something we're not going to let happen. Now, we could put Joe Chuck's face on all our videos and make people like Jenny happy and, get millions of views and lots of likes and probably make some decent money. But our child's safety and well-being is more important than a little bit of money, likes, and views. He's not here to entertain anybody. With that being said, if you're only following us so you can look at our child, please unfollow us, hell, do us a favor, and block us.
Very well said. Very well said. They did their content for themselves.
Explain why you have no...
And then they do whatever they want. Okay, I have been following them for a long time. They are a lovely couple. I am glad that they protect their baby from the crazy people on the internet. They seem so different. How did they meet? All right, let's see here. I don't remember, but they are very funny. And you can see the love they have for each other. That is true. When my kids were little, I kept a few pics in my purse to share when I was out. Close friends, family, and colleagues. I mailed their pics to family and friends on holidays. Then Facebook's happened. People were sharing their kids' pics over social media. It's a bad idea for so many reasons. To tell you the truth, when Facebook first happened, I felt like it was a good idea. You had so many people connecting and things like that. It was like a hub where people could meet other, long lost friends and things like that. But when the bad guys get the hang of it and then they weaponize it, this is when it becomes bad. But the original idea was a good idea. But it's when the bad people come in and try to infest, to muddy the water, so to speak. And that's when it's become bad. And I have a Facebook account. I haven't been on it for, since the pandemic. I poke here and there, but I don't even remember my password. It's almost like the way that I treated Twitter at one point. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. There's more comment. Okay, so this has to do with MAGA. I did listen to this. So this guy is explaining the mentality of the MAGAs. It's like the hard truth, so to speak. The hard truth. You either understand what he's trying to say or just don't watch it, because this is the mentality of these people. If some of us then know about it, how they think and how they process things, so he is telling you exactly how they think. All right, he exposes the true reason why Trump has such loyal supporters. Okay, and I've been seeing a lot of them that are breaking away. They see the light. It's like it was a hypnotism, and then all of a sudden something happened where they snap out of it. And after this election, if we do survive, okay, we are at the brink right now. If we do survive, and I think we will, because there's too many good people who spoke up. They didn't just sit by. Americans need to look back and think really hard. What happened? What made them to speak against their own values like this? This is something American needs to really, really sit back and analyze and say, my God, why did I think this way? Because if you look at throughout all of my videos since the 2020, where I start talking about the Jan 6 and leading up to Jan 6 and all of that, and I'm like, some of the things that I used to say was that those veterans, the people who didn't come back, the soldiers who didn't come back, okay, they signed at the dotted line, okay, to protect our values. So because of them, many of these people who so fund for freedom, this, freedom, that, they should at least try to keep those dead soldiers' memories alive, because they fought for us to be able to have the freedom to do some of the things that we are doing. Look at this. You have Trump who's saying that I don't know, with CBS because they told the truth about something, and he should take the they should take the license away from them because he didn't agree with what they said. So do you see where we are now in the US? The guy is literally telling us what he plans on doing. And we saw when he was president, the things that he was going after. And I highlight them in a different way, not in a professional way, in terms of legal analysis, this kind of thing. It's just things that I was seeing and I was pointing them out. So, and then when you look at also with the type of people that's coming from the UK to manage our newspapers, and we seen what type of articles they put out in the UK that drive people nuts. So we already have perfect example in front of us, and we have a hint, I should say, of what they plan on doing. And thank God to some of those Washington Post journalists who stood their ground to protect our integrity of the newspapers. Because they were coming to dismantle. Okay? Trump wants to keep us in the dark. So they were coming to put us in the dark. To write BS pieces. Entertainment type of pieces. So after this election, we need to look back and think, what did we just come from? What were we thinking? I have to say we because, when the majority wins, and well, I will not say majority because with electoral college, sometimes the majority still doesn't win. But based on our law, we need to find out why we went this way. And many of those red states should give us a pretty good idea the type of people they are. For them to see all of the BS, I could understand. Okay, 2016, I could understand. You see Mark Cuban, which I spoke about, who give him benefit of the doubt because he was voting based on business prospect of things. So he learned from it. He saw the type of a person he is and how he managed things and all that. Just go watch his videos. And some of my videos, I highlight some of his little videos, Mark Cuban that is, on some of my videos. But you could go on social media and find plenty because he's going around and talking about his point of view of things. I could give him a pass because in the business mindset, this is how he was going. And this is the same way he's still going further as well as he speak against not voting for Trump, because he doesn't see the type of mindset, the personality of a person who, if you flatter him, he'll do things based, not following the rule of law and all of that. So all of this is why I give him a pass, because he learned from it. I don't think he voted for him. He didn't say. I don't want to speak for him. I don't think he voted for him for 2020, and I don't think he's gonna vote for him for 2024 because of the person that Trump is. But at the same time, when I think about him, you got the Access video, and you got his bankruptcies and kind of that. He should have, for a business person, he should have seen this kind as red flags already. But again, I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. He learned from his mistake. But the others, the poor white people who Trump doesn't give a crap about, them, only wants to use them to elevate himself. So they really need to think. But anyway, this is a 4-minute 11-second video. I'm sorry, there will be screenshot. Maybe I'll use that as the screenshot. Okay, so let's listen.
I was talking about this with my wife this morning, and we were talking about Trump supporters, right? And I've said this in the past, where like, oh, it's a fucking cult. But to me, it's much deeper and more insidious than that. Trump represents white Jesus, white Republican Jesus. The promise of, I will save you as a white person. I will save your whiteness. I will maintain the status.
Just like the very first video, the very first tweet that I added, I literally just added to the list, the very first one, where the guy said something, about God, and I responded, and let me pause for a second and put on a different screen, not screen, a different tab. It's funny. I had 3 likes, and there is he followed me, the same person. I had followed him before, but he followed me, and there's me responding to him. You're not wrong there. What this bunch call God is not the same kind of God that I worship. So that was his original tweet. Where is it? More people are seeing it now. I'm an atheist, but I have seen a good few Christians doing good work. I think the Trump Christian are the nasty type. Okay, so when this guy is talking about white Jesus, this is what I'm saying. That's not the same God that I follow. So these people need to really look deep into themselves. What kind of God are they worshiping? When they're reading Bibles and all of this, what kind of God are they worshiping? All right, so there's that. And this is... There's one video that I had that was at the beginning of me starting to talk about the Sussexes, and I was still talking about politics, and I went too deep into religion. I never made the thing public because I was like, maybe now I probably could put it public because some of you already know where I'm coming from. But at the beginning, the way that I was talking about it, it will scare some people, and it will still raise some red flags to some people, but at least some of you will understand where I'm coming from, knowing some of other podcasts you have heard me saying certain things. And I understand there are times I'm not that clear because so many things popping up in my mind, but you will have a basic understanding where I can, how and why I say some of the things that I said. So when this guy is saying Trump supporters see Trump as the white Jesus and all, it's mind-boggling because if they truly believe in God, God is the creator of everything. So what the hell do they separate their skin tone with? I don't know. It's hard to go into their mindset. All right? Jesus Christ. All right, let's start all over. I went off. Let's start all over, okay?
I was talking about this with my wife this morning, and we were talking about Trump supporters, right? And I've said this in the past. We're like, oh, it's a fucking cult. But to me, it's much deeper and more insidious than that. Trump represents white Jesus, white Republican Jesus. The promise of, I will save you as a white person. I will save your whiteness. I will maintain the status quo.
But saving them from what? Everybody wants to move on with their lives, wants to live, don't want to be bothered, but they don't want who keeps on bothering other people. So saving them from what? From themselves? At the end of the day, it seems like saving them from themselves. I don't know. Because people are trying to stay away from them, but they keep on imposing their will onto other people. Look at Trump. Wants to hijack the government to impose his nonsense onto everybody. When you look at other people who run for office, they want to, there has to be a goal. There has to be rule and regulation. That way, you don't step on other people's boundaries. This is what the rules are for, in simplicity. There have to be a rule, a common understanding of things, so you don't step on other people's personal boundaries. When you do step on personal boundaries, this is where the court come into play to see how and why you step onto other people's boundary. But these people, they want to impose everything on other people, while other groups just want to live their lives. So who are they trying to say Trump is saving them from? From themselves. They are their own worst enemy. But anyway, let's continue.
I will make sure we carry out violence towards anyone that isn't white and make sure they stay in their place. That's what he has to offer.
Okay, if they stay in their lane, in their space, there won't be any problem. But these people are all about violence. There's those videos that I have, I believe it was in somewhere upstate New York, Buffalo. All right, you have these police pushing this old white man made him bump his head on the concrete. I don't show it because YouTube will see as whatever it may be. Yeah, I just show the part where it reaches him and then he's stumbling backward. But at the end of the day, the guy fell on the floor, hit the back of his head. There was blood. So these people are the one who's looking for problem. Alright, so let's continue.
And the reality is, it could be anyone other than Trump, too. You just need a fucking narcissist, and you need a white man, billionaire, and it's game time.
And this is why
White people
and this is why I say, even if Trump, the GOPs, they've been doing the thing that Trump is putting on full blast. They've been doing a little bit at a time, but under the radar. They don't publicize it. They distract you. I spoke about in some other videos where the black and brown neighborhoods, there's drugs, there's a liquor store in almost every corner. They want you to distract, forget about your problem. Sometimes I even think in their own state, there's a lot of those people who are on drugs. So they drug them to, I'm talking about the red states, okay? Many of them are on drugs to, for them to forget about reality, and then to incite them to create violence, and then for them to think who's create the problem are the other people, the ones that they want them to go after, the minorities, the black and brown neighborhoods and all of that. But at the same time, it's very sad. It's very sad when I see some of those videos. I spoke about this YouTube channel who goes in different parts of the country to talk about the issues that's going on. It was through that I realized this is what's happening in some of the red states. I'm not saying it's everybody in the red states, but when you go deeper into that, many of them are not, they are under the influence. But anyway, let me move it back slightly. Oh my God, I'm making that 4-minute video into for eternity.
Billionaire, and it's game time. White people love Trump because that's what they believe. What he's saying is what they believe. Half the country of white people can hear what he says and be like, yep, that's what I want.
And this is what Putin have touched base on 2016. I mean, our enemies study us very well. And then to see what could trigger us. And that was race. Race was the problem. So when they took over Facebook, I spoke about Facebook, where they bought a good portion of shares. But they bought enough not to be the majority owner, but enough to have a say. So when they start pinning Americans against other Americans, and this is what triggered everything else. Okay, many of them fell for it, and then they were voting against their best interests. Now, what comes around this time is one of the things that I've said. I did remove it from this video and put it on the other one. It's regarding, let me pause for a second to get it. You know what, I go. Okay, so I'm gonna cover this as well, and then I move it from where I had it down the list. Okay, I spoke about it on my last video because of something that I said, and I thought I should bring this up. Okay, after our election, we need to put our mask on first. We Americans too are in danger. Russia versus Ukraine and Israel versus Palestine were ways to confuse us Americans to forget about ourselves. Who wanted to fund Israel while trying to fund Ukraine? Who sent COVID tests while Americans were dying? Okay, so this is the Jewish Holocaust, the Palestine Holocaust. Okay, so this is the thing that they're doing. Why did I bring it up again? Let me move it back.
What he's saying is what they believe. Half the country of white people can hear what he says and be like, yep, that's what I want. It's not this idea of blind following or too fucking stupid or...
Okay, now I remember why. Okay, They created what's happening in the Middle East was to confuse us. Okay, where we will have to determine, do we really want to fund Ukraine, or look what's happening in the, just to, you see, there are a lot of Americans who are upset with what's going on in the Middle East. I, for myself, was sharing a lot of these things, what was going on in the Middle East, until YouTube come with they changed their, how do you call this? They changed their policies, which makes it difficult for me to talk about things. This is one of their policies here. YouTube policy updates. Okay, from here, January 2024, update to harassment and cyberbullying enforcement on January 16 will begin striking content that realistically simulates deceased minors, because at that time, you will not believe the kind of death that I was seeing in the Middle East, or victims of deadly or well-documented major violent event describing their death or violence experience. This is why I think YouTube is part of the problem. YouTube is part of the scheme that is going on. They know what was going on in the Middle East, so they don't want people to talk about it. So a lot of Americans are aware of this. I was talking about it, how disgusting I was about it. So until they put that, so if my channel still wants to be existing, then I cannot talk about it. And showing you the images that was going on in the Middle East, the bodies that was all over the floor and things like that. And you see Israel killing a lot of, what do you call this, journalists over there. There are a lot that's going on. So this is why I said all of this were a way to confuse us. We've seen a lot of protests that's going on around the world and in the US as well. We are very upset about that. But when it's time to fund Ukraine, they insist on funding Israel. So in order for some of the thing that was going on, it's like, my goodness, it's very hard. They wanted to blame her, I guess Biden, but Biden is not running. And I think Biden knows the problem that's going on in the Middle East. And if we want to save democracy, he had to step out and take all of this with him. Okay, because he was the president at that time who signed the bill to fund Ukraine and Israel, because the GOP wanted that to be part of it. That's how they were tying his hand behind his back. It's not like the Democrats wanted to do that. Okay, so eventually he had to give up. He said he realized if he stays, so many people are upset of what's going on. But when you look at what's going on with Russia, if Russia wins, we are in problem as well. This is why I was saying there's two different wars that's going on. There's one within. It was going on within without, the typical type of war. You have Trump doing the dismantle our democracy, and then you have the Supreme Court to give him free will to do whatever he wants if he become president. That's a huge problem. Okay, so this is the thing what I was saying here. After our election, we need to put our mask on first. We Americans too are in danger. Russia versus Ukraine and Israel versus Palestine were ways to confuse us Americans to forget about ourselves. This part here. Alright, and then I talk about the other thing. So let's go back to this. So I'm done with this. I took this from down the list and bring it up because of what he was saying here. So let's move it back slightly again.
Can hear what he says and be like, yep, that's what I want. It's not this idea of blind following or too fucking stupid, or I've said this shit in the past, probably in the present too, just like, they're too dumb to understand. No, they know exactly what the fuck they want, and it's white supremacy in its most pure form, coming from the top down. Us saying they're too dumb, us saying whatever, like, gives them an out. It gives them an out. Saying you're ignorant, you're willfully ignorant, whatever. That gives
To a certain extent, yes, they are ignorant because the way, if you're not in control, right now as a democracy, we have control of how our system works. In another word, we have a say on how we want our democracy to run. That is by voting. You don't like a representative, you vote against it. So this is our voice. So we have a say on how our system run. That's what I mean by that. So if they let Trump be in control, if things doesn't go his way, they themselves are not even safe under his rule. This is the thing many of these people don't understand. They themselves, who's giving Trump power, they themselves are not safe. Just look at what's happening in Russia. You go against him, he throws you, well, allegedly, you see many people flying off the window. You don't see it, but you hear about it. Okay? Just look at the system in Russia. So this is the kind of system he wants to bring here. If you disagree with him, look at this. I was just saying about the CBS. He wants to take their license away because he didn't like what they say. Okay? No one is safe under this type of regime. All right, let's continue.
an out. No, this is what they want. Pure white supremacist fascism, violence, to maintain whiteness in this country. That is what they want. That's what they are telling everyone. This is what we want. This is what we believe. This is what aligns with.
And this is what they're doing in the Middle East. Even those people, those other who's cited, I forgot the name, different part of the country in the Middle East. Okay? They think Israel is taking the enemy off or whatever. They themselves are not safe. I said it once. I don't know if I left it in the video at that time. The same way they got the US to be the way it is now, that's what they're gonna do in the Middle East. Each of these little countries gonna be one whole country, and then they're gonna take control. Okay, it's the same group, the GOP, the Tories. All right, you don't hear I haven't followed too much what's going on in the UK, but same group. Okay, these are the same group that's doing those damages worldwide. All right, let's continue.
My whiteness, my way of life. Trump is just giving them an opportunity. Like I said, it could be anyone other than Trump, but Trump is giving them the opportunity to put this into play in a power play from the top down. It could be, like I said, anyone else that fits this criteria. And I talked about this the other day. We've had almost 250 years of white men, minus one president, in power. They want to maintain the status quo by any means necessary.
That minus one, that's President Obama. But the thing is that when you look at when President Obama was in office, he pretty much, and we have ourselves to blame for that. He pretty much did what he needed to do just 2 years. And then the rest, even though we voted him back again for a second term, but we didn't give him the House and the Senate. So it was hard for him to pass anything after the first 2 years. So if Kamala Harris wins, we need to give her the House and the Senate for things to move forward. And then we build up on it afterward. And I said this in another video. Our midterm election and smaller election that goes locally, we need to pay attention to that because this is how they dismantle things. Okay? So the GOP was already dismantling the system, but quietly, under the radar. McConnell prevent Obama from putting a Supreme Court. All of this. Obama thought these people were doing in good faith, but no. They're not working in good faith. So we need to match them the same way they do their things. All right, let's continue.
That's why there's nothing that Trump could do. There's nothing that he could say that will turn them away. And we see that. It just doesn't make sense to those of us that are empathetic, that do have a heart, that want to stand for the rights of other people. It doesn't make sense to us. But it does make sense because white people will do whatever we can to maintain our comfort, to make sure that nothing gets in the way of that. And we will fight. White people will storm the Capitol. They will unalive cops, and say Blue Lives Matter in the same fucking sentence, as long as they can maintain their white power.
Well, I hope other Americans who want democracy understand this now. This is why I'm sharing this. It's not like I agree with what he's saying. It's the hard truth. I hope people understand these people are not playing. Because many of these things that they were doing were going under the radar. When you see a cop killing a African American, there's no punishment. Or they desensitize people from being used to this type of behavior. Okay? So they were doing that things a long time ago. But anyway.
That's what it is. And that's why this shit is so fucking deep and insidious, because you can't talk Trump supporters into empathy, into giving a fuck. I mean, we can try and we should, but when our very foundational core white supremacy, which our ethics and morals are built upon, it is going to feel like a personal attack on everything that we love, everything that we know. When someone says, hey, don't support this man that says and does some of the most fucked up shit we've seen in our life. No, because it aligns with who they are and what they want and what they believe.
As he was saying this thing, one of the things that crossed my mind is, was this actor who went to the White House and who cited some sort of a prayer when this person reached God? I'm paraphrasing. And he didn't have any scars on his face and stuff like that. And he said, oh, so there was nothing to fight for?
Thank you so much, distinguished guest, West Wing families, and our gracious host, the First Lady. I am given this opportunity, rare enough these days, to morph once again into the wonderful character that changed my life and a lot of others as well, Jed Bartlett. So thank you, Aaron, for this opportunity. You know, the Irish tell the story of a man who arrives at the gates of heaven and asks to be let in. St. Peter says, of course, just show us your scars. The man says, I have no scars. St. Peter says, what a pity. Was there nothing worth fighting for? We are rightly called to find something in our lives worth fighting for, something deeply personal and uncompromising, something that can unite the will of the Spirit with the work of the flesh. And when we find that, we will discover fire for the second time. And then we will be able to help lift up this nation and all its people to that place where the heart is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depths of truth and tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sands of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action into that heaven of freedom, dear Father. Let our country awake. Amen.
This kind of thing. At some point, we can't just, turn the other cheek. No, you have to fight fire with fire. You try to avoid it, but if they refuse, you have to do what you gotta do. Alright, let's see here. This has to be the dumbest shit I've heard in a minute. Even dumber than you think about voting for her, LOL. And you said it so sincere. Uncle, okay. It's up to you. This is the thing that Putin really, dig up. This was the issues that were in our system. So he brought them out. All right, let me read this and that. That man is speaking facts. That's what I was saying. That man is speaking facts. Vice President Harris knows this. This is why she's fighting like hell to maintain the Democratic base and heavily counting Republicans independent. She needs to get above 50%, and I believe she will. All right. Okay, Trump supporters are afraid of losing their position as a white majority. They're not majority. They are not majority. The problem is that it's already too late. We whites are no longer the majority as of 2020, and the world did not fall apart. The whites were not overrun by brown hordes, and none of their rights and oh my God, none of their rights and I found it. None of their rights and privileges were taken away. What whites don't get is that when you give another non-white group of people the same right as the whites have, they don't take away or decrease the whites' rights. Jesus had brown skin, brown eyes, and black hair. And you know, I don't know if I talked about it, but I know I came across it where Putin said something, I think it was over the summer, that Jesus was black, all right, to sort of capture the black American, because this is one of the issues that, you know, that many people are having, and he thought that will deter us to say, oh, the Russian or this or that. Nah, this is just another way. I mean, it might be right, but it's just another way to either to I guess our defense mechanism to just it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But to give him a benefit of a doubt or something over whatever he was thinking. But we still focus. We knew it was. But him bringing it out didn't change anything. Keep in mind, a lot of these things, I insert my opinion in it. One of the things that I think he was trying to do, in my humble opinion, is to have black American to be on his side of whatever it is that's going on in in Ukraine. That way he gets more support, in my humble opinion. But that didn't really change anything with us Americans. We remain focused, and this is why they hate us. But let's continue. All right, Jesus was brown skin, brown eyes, and black hair. Jesus wasn't white. He was darker skin, and he saved everyone, white and brown alike, regardless of their skin color. And the only way for whites to worship him was to whiten him. The truth is that if Jesus was alive today, the whites will hate him because of the color of his skin. That is true. I read somewhere, you know what, let me not even repeat it because I don't know if it's true. Let's pause this. Exactly. White people represent 64% of the American population, Hispanic 18, black 12. What? Approximately. So enough with this idea, white people are minority. Okay, if you think so. That's why they run on making the border such a big issue, demonizing of the other and itself. And this is the thing that Trump wanted to run on. This is why the border bill didn't work. Trump has his reason. He's saying this stuff. One of the things I started saying in the original recording is that Trump has his reason for saying some of his crazy stuff. Yes, they are crazy, but the thing is that they want to control everything. You could, whatever it is, it may be, population, everything. They want to control everything. But the thing is that God always wants things to be balanced. You take one from someplace else, God has to balance it someplace else. When you look at what's happening in Ukraine, Middle East, a lot of bodies that are evaporating. Okay, so let me not get into that, but that's what I wanted to say, is that Trump has a reason for saying some of these crazy things. The main thing is to control. They want to control everything, manage everything. All right. I don't know if I should play this. Okay, hey, at Elon Musk and at Donald Trump, you don't think we see what you're doing, effing traitor. All right, so let's play it, and I'll see how I feel when I'm editing.
Gentlemen and Republicans, I want to send a message out to Donald Trump himself. Hey, face, how you doing this morning? I want you to know we all see what the you're doing. You couldn't even get a new playbook. That's how unoriginal you are. You got the same exact lies you're spreading. And you know how we know you're losing, Farty McStick?
Oh my God.
You know how we know? Because the lies keep getting more and more outrageous. And it's the same bullshit you tried to sell to your cult followers last time. You know, the ones that got Ashley Babbitt killed. The patriot from San Diego. The ex-military vet from San Diego who believed all your lies, that brought her down to the Capitol that day because because you told her her country was being stolen and she wanted to be a patriot for her president, and you let her march down there and crawl through a window that was bashed out because the door next to it was barricaded because of your f***ing lies, you sack of shit.
There is a music in the background, so this might be, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Just read the caption.
We see it coming this time. Everybody in the country sees it coming, mother. All of us. You might have your cult fucking followers, you might have them fooled, but you don't have the rest of the country fooled. The only people buying your bullshit are the people who are also buying your gold fucking tennis shoes and your fucking NFTs that don't exist. You grifting piece of shit. You are the worst thing that has ever happened to this country, and in a few weeks, we're gonna send your fucking ass back to the dustbin of history and soon to prison after that. And you know what? We're coming for the rest of you Traitor Brigade motherfuckers too. Ted Cruz, Jim Jordan, Andy Biggs, Marco Rubio, all you that continue to push the big lie, Deuce, the second big lie, which is still the first fucking lie, just 4 years later. How many Americans do you think may get killed in this next riot you guys try to fucking stage? Because let me tell you, this time, we'll be ready for you. And there's gonna be a lot more than one Ashley Babbitt if you guys try to around and find out this time. We know we're fighting for our democracy. You're just fighting for one man so that he can stay the out of prison. Because why? Because Kamala might give you health care? Because you may have to tolerate some gay folks being around you? Because your wife may be able to divorce you if you're a fucking douchebag? Because we want women to have their fucking bodily autonomy, the same rights guaranteed in the Constitution that you and I as men have? That's why you want to around and find out? Well, come get some, motherfuckers, because we're ready for you this time. And I hate to tell you, this time you don't have the presidency. You don't have the power of the presidency to back your stupid traitorous motherfucking asses up. Fucking come get some. Good morning.
Well, that was harsh. And phew. But anyway, this is why Trump has to lie to them, because if he tells them the truth, this is the thing that happened, and this is why he didn't want the things, the January 6th, the thing that what's this guy, the prosecutor, to release. I think there's like a couple thousand of pages from the from the DC case, about several thousand pages. He didn't want these things to be out because he didn't want the people to know the truth. Once the people know the truth, and this is what happened. Why? Is he single, super married, but we can still be pals? Oh my god. You look like a... what? Oh my goodness. There's all of that. Okay, I just wanted to show the video. Let's not go in the comments. We start drifting off. Alright, so this one, Wrong Riley. And I only put my comment. Alright. Alright, so I saw this. Someone posted, do I have the video of him, of Kamala saying this is the wrong rally? But anyway, so there's this here. Alright, I'm not sure that anything encapsulates the current state of the American right. Alright, Christian student in Wisconsin speak out after Kamala Harris told them they were at the wrong rally. I'll look for the video of where Vice President Kamala was telling. Let me look for it. That was fast. All I wrote was wrong rally. This is it here. Okay, Vice President Harris to MAGA hecklers. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street. So that will be a screenshot. It's 35 seconds. Let's listen.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street. Come on.
Alright, so that was that. This is what this is making reference to. Okay, Christian student in Wisconsin speak out after Kamala Harris told them they were at the wrong rally. A pair of Christian students trolled by Kamala Harris. Now they're turning it... turning it on her. A pair of... They didn't expect her to clap back. This is the thing here. They like to spit out things, but when the thing is returned to them, they can't handle it. Now they're turning it against her. They went to her. She didn't go to them. Because when I read my comment, you'll see what I said. A pair of Christian student trolls by Kamala Harris and mercilessly mocked by the crowd at her rally at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse last week insist they were there for the right reason. Okay, so there's me here. Does anyone have the archive version? So what was their reason for going? There's the thinking here. What was their reason for going there? Going there should have been for listening. Their voices shouldn't be heard while she was talking unless question was asked. Oh well, they received what they meant for her. Alright, for people like that. Let me see. There's 28 comments under it. Let's read some of them. There's me here. Boo-hoo-hoo. The mean lady made fun of us. They went there to bully people and got upset. They were bullied and returned. Slow fix. There's the thing here. They went to her rally to disrupt her. You see? But they were the victims. There's the laugh here. They insist they were there for the right reason. Oh, and what was those reasons? And who determined if the right or not? Who determined if they right or not? And did these young white men interrupt the rally and make it about themselves and what they want? Okay, they can cry more, they gamble and lost. That's for sure. What did they expect? Warm cookies and a glass of milk? Okay, they truly believe only their opinion matter and that it is their right to stand in judgment of everyone else and that no one else has any say in the matter. And they will don't with their version of religion right large. Okay, well, they were at the wrong rally. Samples. Fragile. Did she tell people to beat them up? No, that's what Trump did. Okay, so there's that. Let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next one. I wasn't supposed to go on that comment. I was gonna read only my next tweet. I need to put the video of Kamala in it. Alright. Kamala Harris, for real, got bret baier spinning out of like 5 whole days. Oh, that's the interview. I shared it, well, not the entire video, but clips that I came across on a thread. Okay. She broke him. His whole worldwide collapsed when the black lady clacked him. Funny to watch him fall apart in real time. But let's continue. And let's not forget, Secretary of State Clinton would have been another good fit for him as well, because she knew him very well. It was the right, she would have been the right president at that time for us. But we saw what happened. We got Trump, and this is where everything went downhill. Okay, he built her a mansion inside his own head and gave it to her for free. She broke this man. Why Bret has PTSD. He's waking up, sweating at night about that ass whipping. That's regarding the interview, because they were setting her up. Especially the part where he showed her a video that she quickly called him out on and said, no, that was not the video that Trump said whatever he said. Alright, and then he tried to talk over her and she held her on. Alright, he's been trying to reestablish dominance over since, LOL, and failing. I'm surprised he's not lifting his leg on trees outside Fox headquarters. Okay, right, talk about she wanted a viral moment, she got it too at his expense, LOL. Next, okay, his best laid plans weren't the best enough. Okay, I still can't get over whoever said he has Fisher Price hair. Who said that? I tell you, any minute now, he's going to break out a boa and start singing his coming out song. Oh my God. Okay, after this, that's it. Bret redeemed himself with conservative by exposing the shit out of Kamala. He's never been better, cope more. What? From what I saw, I don't know. Okay, what exactly did he expose? If that was him at his best, then he must be truly awful every other time he opened his mouth. Okay, he asked brutal question about her record and she refused to even try to spend the answer. Any competent... Oh, please. If you're talking about competent... Trump, let me not even go there. Let me go to my last one, and this is it. Competent, please. How much worse are the Bushes looking every day, hiding as they are, failing to step up at a moment of great national danger? Breaking: Susan Ford Bell, the daughter of Michigan's only president, Gerald R. Ford, has endorsed Vice President Harris. Right now, everybody's trying to hold face. I've spoke about the Bush presidency already. The possibility. Okay, just go to my old videos. Maybe the most I said 3 weeks ago? 2-3 weeks ago, I spoke about the Bush presidency. Who they're gonna try to put forward to take the lead. It's gonna be, Jeb Bush's son, the half Mexican one. Okay, but at the end of the day, same thing. It doesn't matter who, which GOP is the president. The agenda remains the same.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.